Hey everyone, it's Ashanti, and in this video, I'm going to read Genesis chapter 2. I do want to state some things. Number one, I am still learning, so I'll say that first. I'm still learning as I read, so I don't know everything that I'm reading. I do have questions, which there will be times I will say the questions that I do have. And I do want to encourage you all, if you have questions or if you know an answer to something, then you can definitely comment in the comments. And I would like to hear from you all. And also, I do want to state that I don't know how to pronounce every word that I see. So I would love for you to bear with me. And also, I do want to state that I use words such as Yahuwah to represent our Heavenly Father, also known as God. And Yahuwah I know it is used when there is an all caps or capital letters Lord. And Elohim, I know, or people say Elohim, but I have a different Bible. I don't know how to pronounce the word, but I say Sefer, and it could be wrong, the Sefer Bible, but it has the words Elohim, Yahuwah, Yahusha in it, and it also has Ruach HaKodesh, which is Holy Spirit. And also there are other words like Barak, which is to bless, and words that you will hear me use. And I will provide commentary. If I didn't say that earlier, I don't remember if I did, but I do provide commentary throughout this video. So you'll definitely be hearing me say things. And I'm not going to speak too much longer about that, but I will say I'm very excited to read. So I'm going to get started. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, Yahuwah ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Yahuwah blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which he created and made. I apologize, you all. I got stumped a little there. I was wondering if I repeated myself when it kept saying work which he had made. So to sum it up, the heavens and the earth, and the heaven, I said in the Genesis chapter 1 video, can also be the sky, and the earth can be the ground that we walk on, and all the host of them, like the host would be like the sun, the moon, the stars, and for sure the trees, the grass. And I do wonder, this is a question I have, would humans and animals also be considered the host of the earth and also the heavens? So that is something I do ask. And it also says that on the seventh day he ended his work and he rested on this day. So from what I read in Genesis chapter 1, I do know that he worked on days 1 through 6. That I definitely do know. And then and it doesn't say that he worked on the seventh day. So on the seventh day, that would basically mean that he did no work. So he took the seventh day to rest, since he created everything from days 1 through 6. And then it says he blessed the seventh day. And blessed can also be, I don't know how you would say it. I know Barak is basically, I think if I'm correct, to bless. So I would figure out how you would say the tense. But the seventh day, and he sanctified it. It says because that in it he had rested from all his work, which basically it says God here, Yahuwah, or people would say Elohim for capital G-O-D, created and made. Next it says, these are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that Yahuwah, Elohim is what it would say in the Bible, I pronounce it Elohim, but it could be Elohim. Just because I've heard many different things. It's just the way that I've been pronouncing it. But I know in this, what I say, the Sefer Bible has Yahuwah Elohim made the earth and the heavens. And it's talking about, and when it says the generations, meaning basically how it happened. So it says, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for Yahuwah Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the earth. So he didn't cause it to rain upon the earth. And there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. So here's what I'm picturing. He didn't cause it to rain. So in my mind, this is what I'm picturing. Okay, he didn't cause it to rain. So from the earth, there went up a mist. And we know a mist would be like if someone took a spray bottle and, they sprayed it and the water particles. Typically when you mist, the water particles don't typically feel heavy. So just like spritz of water. That's what I'm picturing coming out of the ground and watered the whole face of the ground. That's what I'm picturing. And Yahuwah Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. So it says here, there was not a man to till the ground, but there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And Yahuwah Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground. Okay, and it also says, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. So he breathed into, I definitely know, Adam's nostrils, because it said he formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And Yahuwah Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden. I say it Eden, but I know people pronounce it Eden. And there he put the man whom he had formed. So he put the man that he formed into that garden. And here's something else that I've been wondering. I know it may seem silly or will seem silly to many of you, but I do wonder because like when it was talking about the mist, like he had the mist in the ground, like I know, like I think about how we do have liquid from our bodies. So I wonder, like, when we were created, if there was like some of that mist that was like some of that mist or that water that was already in the ground, if we were created with that being in our bodies. So that's something that I do think about. It's been in my mind. I haven't heard anyone else actually speak about this, but it's something that I think about. So I'll go to the next part now. And then it says, and out of the ground made Yahuwah Elohim to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So it says, out of the ground, he made to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So we do know there were two trees definitely that were made that were in the midst of the garden. The tree of life and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, amongst other trees as well. And it says, and a river went out of, well, I say Eden, but Eden, to water the garden. And from thence it was parted and became into four heads. I do not know how to pronounce these four heads. I am not going to lie to you, but this is how I pronounce them. The name of the first is, I say, Pison. That is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium and the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. That is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And Yahuwah Elohim took the man and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And Yahuwah Elohim commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. Okay, so I'm going to rewind this. So, it was talking about the rivers and the places, too, like the rivers, the gold, the stones. Like I said, I don't know how to pronounce all of those names, but that's interesting. The rivers, it was interesting to read about the rivers and things that were located in those places. And then also it was talking about how he put the man in the garden to dress it and to keep it. And it also says that he commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden he may freely eat. However, he's not supposed to eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And it says that if he does, that he definitely will die. It says, For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die. And Yahuwah Elohim said, It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him an help meet for him. And out of the ground Yahuwah Elohim formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. So it said here that out of the ground Yahuwah Elohim formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air. So that's interesting that it literally says, and out of the ground Yahuwah Elohim formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air. So basically here's where my mind is going when it says that. So let me actually, you know what? Here, let me go back. I'm going to go up so you'll better understand, or maybe so I can better understand. So it says, and Yahuwah Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground. And so we know that Adam was formed, which is what his name will be in this Bible. Adam. So I know that many people have Hebrew names too as well. So I want to look up the Hebrew name. But it definitely said that he was formed from the ground. And then the thing here is it was saying, and out of the ground, Yahuwah Elohim formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air. So my thing is that I'm thinking, because I know animals are living. So I'm thinking too, from reading this, that the animals were formed also. At least I know the where it says here that the beasts of the field and the fowl of the air, that they were formed from the ground. So that's what it seems like to me here, saying that they were also formed from the dust of the ground. Or I wouldn't even put, well, from the ground in general. I know for Adam it said the dust, but from the ground in general is what I'm reading. And it also says that he brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. So basically, he let Adam call them what he wanted to. And it says, and whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof, of that creature. And Adam gave names to all cattle and to the fowl of the air and to every beast of the field. But for Adam, there was not found an helpmeet for him. So that's what I'm thinking, is that, the birds, and it could be even more than just the beast and the fowl, but even the cattle and other land creatures as well, that they were formed from the ground, is what I'm thinking, where my mind goes here. But I want to know what you think about that as well. And I'll keep going. So it does say that he did give names to them. There was not an helpmeet found for him. So it says next, and Yahuwah Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. So basically, after he took one of his ribs, he closed up the flesh. And please excuse the sound, y'all. I do have guinea pigs. And the rib which Yahuwah Elohim had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. So it's interesting, like sometimes when you keep reading, there are things that you didn't pay attention to at first, but it says that he brought those animals to him, and he also brought the woman to him as well. So, which is interesting. And it says here, and Adam said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh." So here again, he's saying she's bone of his bones and flesh of his flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. And I've heard a lot of people say that the W-O part in the word woman, they think of that, or it's used, it's like something with the word womb. So I just know when I think of the word woman, I think of womb, the womb, and man put together to make woman. But furthermore, I do know that we have the word man, and we use it for the word human, woman, man. So basically, like if someone were to say mankind, it's the same thing as saying humankind, like males and females in general. And woman is basically just, I know, to differentiate between a literal man, not mankind, humankind, but also, I forgot. My point got lost. Okay, here's my point. My point is that it's interesting that she was called woman. It's interesting how we have like the word woman, we have man, we have human, and then we have like mankind to basically represent the fact that yes, we are all a type of living being, but we are also two separate beings, for the fact that we have different functions. Some functions the same, some functions different. We're a woman, and we have woman and then we have man. So it's just interesting to me. I know that was long, but that was so long that I just said. But I also wonder if like woman could have been like the word womb just gets to me. Is it womb because like we have a womb to carry a child? That's what I'm wondering. All right, I'm going to keep going, but I want to know what you think, or if you thought anything more than what you've already thought before about this. So it says, "Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother." So yeah, "and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh," because the woman was meant to be with the man. So basically it's saying, all right, now you have this woman, you guys are meant to cleave to one another, basically to become one flesh. So it says, and they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. All right, y'all. So the ending where we left off, where it was talking about Adam and Eve, or let me rephrase it. So we did end off where so far we have Adam and her, the future name of the woman, Eve, which we'll read later. We know that the Father put Adam to sleep. We know that he took a rib from Adam, closed him up, and out of that rib created Eve, known as the woman that he brought unto Adam. And we know that he that they became one flesh, and also they were both naked and they were not ashamed. So far that is where we are right now in Genesis. And for those of you who have, stuck around for the whole entire video so far, I thank you for doing that. And I really do appreciate, even if you did fast forward or like you skipped to this part, still even thank you for the little bit of time that you did watch this video. And hopefully many of you that come across this video will be encouraged to either continue to read the Bible, or to, for the first time on your own or with someone without watching this video, to read the Bible. But I will end this video, and I'm excited to read Genesis chapter 3.